Hello, everyone. For those of you who do not know me, I'm Kimberly Snodgrass. I'm the Director of Certification here at NAWBO. And I know some of you I do not know, but I want to give a huge thank you to Patty Ross, who is she's from our LA chapter. She's the membership director and a past president of the Los Angeles chapter. So Patty, welcome, and thank you so much for being willing to come on and share your Canva secrets with us.
Yes, well, hopefully not so many secrets, but so let me share my slides. I have a few, so this class will be a little different than my typical classes. So just a little bit about me. So my business is Golden State Marketing, and I help business owners with either done for you or marketing coaching services. I can't even say the word today. So I teach marketing webinars, mostly for SCORE chapters across the country, chambers, trade groups. A couple NAWBO chapters have me once in a while to speak directly for their chapters as well. So this is just one of my 6 or 7 different classes that I teach. And this one's the unusual one only in the fact that it's like I have like 5 or 6 slides to start off, and then we go live. We go on browser, and I'm actually showing you tips and Canva. And this mostly will be probably a lot of beginning things. As I was just joking about, if we could do like an 8-hour class and I still wouldn't touch the surface. We could hang out for a week or so and still learning a lot. But hopefully, we'll find out like everybody's comfort level with Canva. We have a small group here, so let me just get to.
Yeah, everyone's Canva level. And I feel like I'm going to feel like I'm more advanced, but I'm probably way at the beginning.
Yeah. Which is good. The way to learn it is to play with it and use it. So, okay, so now I'm going to share. Just make sure I have the right screen up. And there. And let me just share the slideshow. And okay, so there we go. Okay, so you're seeing the slide, create marketing graphics like a rock star with Canva. All good?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. All right. So that's the class today. So a little bit about me. I just already told you what I do. I've been in the online space for, I say, since the internet dinosaurs roamed the earth, before social media, which is now 25 years old. I've been in the wine industry for 20 years, on the more on the technology and marketing side of things, but I do work with all types of B2C and B2B and a little B2G businesses as well. And I mentioned I do teach. Past president, I was the pandemic president. So I was the president of LA in 2020, 2021. So everybody saw me like you see me now in the box. But I do currently serve as the membership director of NAWBO Los Angeles as well. And I also serve as a board member of our local Chamber of Commerce. So like being out there and serving our business community as much as I can. So just put in chat. I know we're kind of live in a meeting format, but just to make it easier, I just want to see in Word, put in chat what your level, just put 1, 2, or 3. You don't have to write out never touched it or beginner, just 1, 2, or 3 or 4. So I kind of have a feel for who's in the room and what level. But again, mostly we have some 2s, 3s. So I'll go through kind of my list of features, show you a few things. And if there's anything that you've been like curious about, I don't know every single new feature because they keep adding a bunch of stuff to it. And you have to really spend the time to look at all the new apps and all the new features. But just to get a lot of basics done, for your business, creating social media graphics, market, all types of marketing materials, all that type of stuff. It's, pretty much almost everything here, except a few things. So in the world of marketing and advertising, I always share there's a lot of options on what you need to do for your business, right? And most of these you can create something on Canva. Maybe not radio ads, I mean, you could do some audio stuff, but generally don't do radio. Television, yeah, maybe not. Billboard ads, you could create a billboard ad here on Canva. Obviously print ads, maybe text marketing might be one, and search engine optimization, but definitely you can create a website on Canva if you wanted to, or at least web pages and web content. Definitely internet advertising, social media, email marketing, retargeted ads and fall under advertising, probably not networking or influencers, unless you're talking about providing them content for influencers. Promotional products, you can create your logo, whatever you're going to print on your promotional products. So print, a lot of these can be, plus a lot of other things that are not mentioned on here. So in the world of marketing, Canva is a great tool to have. And a lot of you sound like you're already intermediate or advanced on it, so you might already be paying for it. So anybody that's not, highly recommend you pay for it. Yes, there is a free version. You could do a lot of things with it, but there's a lot of things you cannot do. I know NAWBO, we're all smart women. It's like, we're going to spend that. It's really $10 if you do it annually, or you can pay it monthly for 15, but for $120 a year, I would pay a lot more for this tool. I used to pay a lot more for Adobe and Photoshop, Illustrator, all that, but this is so much easier. I find it interesting when I run across graphic designers or anybody's like, well, I'm old school. I still use Photoshop. And I'm like, why? Why put yourself through so much more work? You cannot tell the difference between the two. I did a side-by-side test and people couldn't tell the difference between the two.
That's good to know.
Yeah, yeah. It's not really anything more advanced on the look of it. And really Canva, back in, yeah, it's already been June, Canva had a conference, their very first United States conference. It is an Australian company here in Los Angeles. It's called Canva Create. And they're really focusing on the enterprise use of Canva, meaning more departments and big companies are using it for various purposes. So they kind of launched three different departments and companies, tools, HR, sales, marketing. So really across the board, they're really not really just, hey, we're just using this for content creators to create a few cute little graphics. It's really being used wide scale by large companies. So that's taken a little bit more seriously than maybe it used to as a graphic design tool. And I don't know if anybody here is a nonprofit in the room, but if you are or know any nonprofits, they can get a free account. They can just go to canva.com, and I think somewhere towards the bottom there's a nonprofit link, and also for schools or teachers as well. They do promote free accounts for that. So definitely spread the word if you know any nonprofits looking for this tool, if they don't already know about it. So that was it for slides. We're gonna go live. So I'm gonna unshare, stop sharing for a quick second so I can just switch gears, get rid of my slideshow. And
Patty, that was great to know about nonprofits, because since NAWBO is a nonprofit and I use Canva every darn day, but I use my personal account because I've paid for a pro all my life because I can't live without Canva. So I never knew that they put a free account. So I've just
yeah.
learned something
Yeah,
right
I
out the
guess
gates.
National could kind of share an account, make a team. I don't know how that works with teams and nonprofits, but maybe. So if you guys ever shared graphics, and I know you have your marketing, not Margaret, and I know she
Yeah.
uses her account, but yeah, definitely important. Okay, so let's go back and share and make sure everything's set. It's like redressing the set here. Okay. All right. And I'm gonna go on my browser. So hopefully you're seeing Canva, Discover Droptober, it says here.
Yep.
Just make sure, let me just expand the screen. And I can't make it full screen because then I lose my different tabs. So hopefully it's big enough for everybody here. And okay, there we go. All right, so we're mostly advanced, but I'll show you some of like I said, the basic features of it in case it's something that you missed in the past. So you're kind of aware. And is everybody here on the paid version? Just so I know if anybody's on free and they're like, I don't have that. Is everybody paid? Yes, raise your hand or just say yes in chat. Okay, we have a hand raised there. So I'm assuming everybody has a paid version at this point. If you're on the free, there might be some features I'm showing. If you're looking, if you don't see it, it's most likely because it is a paid version. That little crown that you see next to pictures or here at the brand kit, if you see that, it is a pro version. If you can't access it, it will pop up like, hey, you should upgrade. All right. So that's a good indication that you're not on the paid version. So the first thing I wanted to show you is, if you're not aware of it, is a brand kit. So you have the ability to add in different features into a brand. I'm just going to grab this one here. So if you haven't already set up a brand kit, of course, you can add your logos. If you have particular colors that you use and you know that what's called the hex codes here, the little hashtag number here, you can add in your color palette. So then when you're creating graphics, anything you're creating, the color palette will pull up. So you don't have to always recreate that shade of red or orange you use, or the NAWBO teal that's in here. I help with the marketing for my chapter as well. So I'm always creating stuff with the NAWBO teal. We also have orange in our logo for NAWBO LA. So it's already in there. You could set up multiple color or brand kits if you have different brands. I work with different brands as a marketing person, but this is one particular client. They had multiple shades of colors that they use, so we just added them in. You can add in multiple color palettes. This one isn't really their palette. You can add in, there's tons of free free fonts in there, but you can add in your own fonts if you haven't. So if there's any particular fonts that your business uses that are not in here, you can upload those fonts in here. So this particular client here, there's manage uploaded fonts. They have these already that they used and picked out, so they just shared them with me and I uploaded them, so I have them available for their brand kit. You can add in brand voice here, photos, graphics, everything. Lay everything out for your brand kit if you haven't already done that. So that's the brand kit. That's pretty basic. And let's see if they've moved things around since I've last last taught the class. Look, every time I come back and teach this class, I'm like, where did they put that feature I'm talking about? Then another feature, I don't know if anybody's using this, is the content planner. So I don't use it because I have my own content calendar that I share. It's a Google Sheets document, but it's something that you could use. You can connect your social media to this and actually post to your social media from here as well, and plan out your content but I plan out social media, email, blogging on my calendar, and I can kind of show you that too if we have a few minutes what my calendar looks like, but definitely planning everything out ahead rather than like, oh, what day is it today? Let me get a post out. We'll go ahead and create it. You could if you want. But you can see here, they have some of the holidays on here if you wanted to, like yesterday was Veterans Day. So if you wanted to create a Veterans Day graphic, they already have templates or what they call designs in here. So a lot of you already know that. But you can just click on, say, for example, tomorrow's World Kindness Day. They already have templates in here. You can start from one of their templates or start from scratch. Here, they're editable, as you know. So any of these in here, you can grab those. So you can create the content planner, easy to add your own thing. So let's just say we're going to do a post for our next NAWBO meeting, for example. You can put that here, and then when you click on it, it will pull up because it has keywords. When I put meeting, it will put up some, potential designs for you if you don't want to start from scratch and create your own template in here. So that's the content planner feature. And then I'll go through all of the different elements as we go through here that aren't in here, and some AI tricks. And I'm also going to use a little bit of ChatGPT. Is there anybody else using ChatGPT to create content? Got one hand raised. Okay, so we have some here. I'll show you a feature called bulk create as well. So we'll go on ChatGPT and do some bulk content, bring it back to Canva, and show you how to bulk create some content out there for you. So, and you can see here where it shows teams. This is what I was talking about under the Canva create. They're basically what they're doing is I would say lumping together, bringing together tools that a typical marketing team might use, or if you're HR, what HR tools the HR team might use. So these are the four teams that they started with. I don't know if they're going to add any more, but those are probably the ones that probably use the most graphics in any large company. There's AI powered tools, of course, and we started playing with some of the AR features here. And there's a million apps, well, maybe like 900,000 apps here. So if you started playing with any of the apps, again, these are put together for these particular teams, but all of the apps, I recommend going through. I think I did it earlier this year, and then there's a whole bunch more. I literally went other than the ones I already know. I already knew what Google Drive is and Dropbox, but the ones I'm like, I don't know what that is. What are you talking about? I went through and started just clicking on them to see what they are. So there's a lot of things you can do, including creating AI content, I did this one, create your own talking head if you wanted to, a presenter using AI. So a lot of things in here. I won't be able to show a ton of these apps, but I highly recommend if you haven't. The only way really to learn them is to go and play with them and try them out. So there's tons of AI power tools, productivity, of course, design, and then sharing and publishing. You can connect if you're using social media scheduling tool like I use. I'll show you mine. I use Metrical. It's connected here as well, so it's all connected. And Canva can pretty much do everything, right? So just looking at the list of things it can create, if you haven't dug in, pretty much every single social media size that you need, all of your Instagram sizes, your TikToks, your YouTubes, all that are in here. We already have the correct sizes for you. You can create flyers of every type, resumes, your business cards, oops, sorry about that. Click on something. Flyers, magazine covers, book covers, photos, videos, pretty much everything, and they keep adding. So there's templates for all of these features here. So the plenty of stuff to play with here on, and they're all broken down here. You can see here. Documents. You can do presentations. You can create a slide deck here. You can actually present right from Canva. You don't have to you can download it as a PowerPoint, and then I usually bring them, like you saw, into PowerPoint. But you can present right from Canva. I've seen somebody actually do that in presentation I was in. You could create a full website here and publish it as well. The only thing I'm not very clear yet on is if you can actually, if you wanted a retail e-commerce site, being able to connect it to a shopping cart. But you can create, I had a client, she did like a brochure site. They didn't sell anything online. It was they do flooring and tiling and stuff, but I was surprised with this really nice looking site. You wouldn't have known it was a Canva created site. So you can use that feature as well. So everything, print products, video, social media, there's everything here that you could do. I always tell people, challenge me on something that it can't do. That might be a shorter list, you know. Can't make you breakfast. So I haven't figured that part out yet. Maybe the robots will do that one day. Who knows? This is new too. I haven't seen the Dream Lab. That's kind of interesting. I don't know if it's you can create you can create AI images. I'm a little torn on AI images because if there's a couple I think I was playing with. You could see here, it doesn't render very well, especially humans. Like for some reason, these two women are holding hands. Her hand looks a little weird here. You could, if you've ever generated some AI pictures, you've probably seen some weirdness with it.
Mhm.
So till that improves, I would be careful with using just if you are generating it. And to me, it doesn't really, it's actually, I guess they're twins, identical twins.
They
I
do
think I
have the
just
same
have my
outfit on.
three business women in a business meeting. And it's like, yeah, it's like they're all, yeah, they're identical twins holding hands for a business meeting. And I think they're sharing one hand here. So they're Siamese twins or something, but yeah. So I'd be very careful. Pugs came out great. You know, always like they could be kind of weird. I have three pugs sitting under my desk, but people are a little strange. But you could try, try AI generated images as well. So, but there's plenty of stock photography. So I want to show you some features, some of the apps here. It's a couple when it comes to graphics. All right, let me actually go into, I'm just going to start with create a design here. So let me go into, oops, all right, let's do Instagram. You could just do a search and then it will pull up all the Instagram sizes. So a typical one, Instagram post square, that's your just typical social media size that they want. Just want to show you all the different elements. Of course, if you're using it in advanced features, I might not be showing anything new, but I want to just kind of break down the navigation here on the left. So design is your templates, right? So I've used this feature. So like yesterday, for example, if you wanted to create a Veterans Day post, you just type in Veterans Day and you're going to come up with a ton of designs or templates, and then you can, again, they're most of them are highly editable, not edible. So you can take one and add in your logo and change things up. Even I was gonna say you can't really edit images, but now you actually can change the text out. So plenty of templates for different things in here. Or you could start from scratch, your Thanksgiving templates and say if your business is share in the chat too, if you don't mind, what type of business you are as well. So say if I use any samples that would relate to one of your businesses. Let's see, I found a few these can look okay, agree strange. It helps with multicultural images. That's interesting. Coaching, yeah, designing construction. Okay, perfect. Recruiting and talent management. Yeah. I actually have a recruiting agency I work with. I do their marketing for them as well. So there probably are tools in here or designs for some businesses. Not always, but say, for example, I sell, shoes, and you have plenty of stock. No, none of us here sell shoes, but I have plenty of templates here. And let's just say maybe I sell Chucks. I can change out the pictures and make that coaching. If there's anything, I don't know if you guys have probably tried this with your own. So here's, business coaching. You can, again, make it your own. Anything you can click on, as you know, is editable. You can change out the person, put your own picture, change out colors here. So all those, just click on it and know that you can get rid of it or adjust it, change it out. So all of them here, and anything you type, oops, okay, don't mess around with me here. There we go. So that's design. Those are the templates. And then under elements, you probably played with a lot of these as well. So there's shapes. You can add in different shapes into your design. Graphics, of course, here. There's different types of graphics and stickers and animations and all kinds of different things you can play with as far as graphics. Photos, obviously. Now I wanted to show you this. So if you're not familiar with this, keep their mute on there.
Wait, I need to mute someone. We're getting some feedback.
There we go. Let's make sure everybody's on mute. That would be great. There we go. Thank you. That's always the danger of meeting format. So let me go back here, photos. So now Canva Pro has their own photos, right? So if you go here and just type in anything, let's just say, we'll just put pug, looking for a pug. I go to photos, there's graphics, of course, plenty of photos. I think it's 10 million on the paid version. You have access to photos, but there are a couple other places to look for stock photos if you haven't found them. If you go under apps, and there's two of them, so rather than know there might be new ones. Pexels, Pexels, there we go. These are both free stock photo websites that are integrated into Canva. So they are free for you to use, licensed for you to use. So here, you should have that open. So say if I'm looking for pugs here, pugs, there we go. Plenty of pugs. I don't know how many photos you need of a pug. Let's just try this one, like woman riding a bicycle. So that might be a little bit more varied. So here I can type in woman riding a bicycle, and I'm going to come up with a lot of different options. Might be some crossover on pictures, of course, through the Canva app. The other one is called Pixabay. Pixabay. Both, again, you can go to their pixabay.com or pexels.com to find them, but see it here. Open that up. And then I just type in woman riding a bicycle, and I'm going to come up with a lot of other options. So there's plenty of stock photography. If you wanted to, again, try the, I think I have it open here somewhere, the Magic Studio. I did have it open. Text Maker, Magic Media. So if I wanted to go in here, women riding a bicycle, again, I want photo format. You could, because you didn't find the tens of millions of photos out there on the other options, you could try, creating your own picture of a woman riding a bicycle. But again, be careful because they might have extra hands or missing feet. So you can see here, let me show you if I expand that out here. You can see, oops, let me do it on a new page. It's unclear. There we go. So, and you could be more specific, woman wearing red, riding a bicycle. But yeah, she had a little distortion here going on. What's going on with her legs, and arms and things. So gotta be careful with that. So plenty of options for photography. And of course you can upload your own photos and videos and all that, which I'm sure all of you have done already. So plenty of content there. Let me go back to elements. Get rid of my pugs. Audio, there's plenty of audio content there. Now be mindful too of audio, video content. Anything here is licensed for you to use. Audio, music. I get this question a lot. If you're uploading it to, say, Instagram, and you want to use trending audio, trending music, like Beyonce's latest song, you do have to be careful as a professional or business account that you have to make sure you're using licensed, non-commercial licensed content. So as a business, you shouldn't be using Beyonce's favorite song or not favorite, latest song or anything that is somebody that licenses and sells their music. So use the content that or the audio content that Instagram allows you to use as a business. Content creators or personal accounts can use those trending audio. I see the violation all the time on Instagram. People are like, la 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 la, I'm going to use it anyways. I would just be mindful of it. If Instagram comes across it, they could, take down your account. So, I always say follow the rules, not follow whatever, just because everybody else is doing it, right? As your parents used to say, just because everybody else is jumping off the building, should you? Right. So just be careful of that. You might not find all of those because you're a professional account. It should be a professional account as a business and won't find those trending licensed music out there. But there's audio on here. There is video content on here as well. Plenty of text. You can create your own text, but they also have some, fancier templates and things that you can start with text if you want to do that. If you haven't seen that, let me go back into elements. Where's your stickers, videos, audio? You can do charts, tables, frames. Let me show you some tricks with frames. A couple of things, frames and grids. You might have already played with these, but I just want to show you all these things would stop popping up there. So there's basic shapes of frames. You can do kind of fun frames. Let's do hit like a sticker. And then if we want to bring in a photo, let me go back here to photos. And I'll just type in, we'll keep doing pug. That's so cute. We want to bring in a pug picture, just drag it over and it'll pop it in. You can always double click and crop it and move it around to get it centered. So plenty of things. It'll automatically populate into those frames of different sizes. So whatever one you use, you can do different types of devices. Like I want to just display a screen. You can do that. So if you've played with these, you can do letters, a lot of those are trending. That's interesting. It's a lot of cool shapes. Grids are a little bit different. And if you haven't played with grids, these are obviously if you want, I did a photo collage recently. It makes it easier. So if I wanted to do a layout like this, let me go back to pictures again. Here we go. Yeah, I'm just going to go. We'll keep doing pugs. It's easier. There we go. So photos. So I can drag in this one here. And then we're going to bring in this one. So you just drag them in. It will automatically fill them in. The blacks. I have both. There you go. So it makes it easier. If I was to do this myself, right, I'd have to kind of manually, okay, let's do that one, stretch it out, and then bring this one in, kind of squeeze it over here, play with it that way, right? I don't know if anybody's tried it with the grids versus not. Here's my black pug. And so it takes a lot of work to kind of line up a grid myself, right? So that's why, yes, I love the grids, right? So it makes it easier. Now, one thing I might not be aware, right? So that's, and the other one actually has spaces between it. So you can see here that it, lines. If you don't want spaces with the grids, it's like better to do it on your own where you just can put the elements up against each other. So very easy to create grids. One thing, if you haven't tried this, and I come up across this, let's just say this, let's just grab this. Okay, so there we go. So let's just say, for example, I want to, this was not on the grid. Okay, this is a non-gridded picture. So let's just say I'm going to grab a grid. So let's go back here. Go here. So I'm going to grab oops, that's a grid. There we go. Grid. Just grab that one and go back. And so let's drag it in, right? So it drags it in and fills it. Where this one I had to go and stretch it out, right? Which is fine. It comes out pretty much the same. Might be easier to use it non-grid. One thing, if you haven't tried it before, is layering pictures on top of each other. Work differently with a grid versus a non-grid. And I learned this little trick, I don't know how many years ago now on Canva, because I would overlay, like say I have winery clients, and I want to overlay a wine bottle on top of the picture. But let's just say I want to overlay this pug picture here. So oops, now with the grid, if I move it around on top of it, it's going to automatically fill it with the picture I bring on top, right? Where with a non-grid, if I bring it in, let me just layer it over, move it around, doesn't auto-fill it where the other one would. So I do that. I just moved it with my mouse and it auto-filled. It's going to undo that. But if I wanted to layer it on top, I'm saying I'm going to remove the background real quick. And I want to lay it on top of grid versus non-grid. Let's just keep doing matching the same one. Now, if I'm doing it with a non-grid, I can easily with my mouse move it around. It's not going to fill it in because I just drop it in the corner. Right. That's my, I have two of the fawns and a black one. Okay, so easily, right? I can layer a picture on top, move it around easily, not a problem. All right. But if with the grid, something to keep in mind. So I want to do the same thing. Now, again, if I just move it around with my mouse, let go, it's going to autofill it. But what you do, if you want to move it around without it autofilling, but you want to use the grid feature, what you want, now I'm in a Mac. I don't know how if it's different with PC, but it's the command that's to the left. It might be control on a PC keyboard. Command. So you hold down command and you have a mouse. And then I'm holding down command and I have my mouse. And now I can move it around. Okay, so let's just move it here in the corner. And then I'm going to let go of the mouse, let go of command, and I can move it around as freely as I can with the non-grid. So again, if there for a reason you prefer to use the gridded version of it, you just have to have that little extra step of command and the mouse and then move that around. Of course, easier to use if you have a mouse than if you're using kind of the finger pad. I don't know how anybody can have patience to do that. Rare occasion that I don't have my mouse or I'm doing it on an iPad for a quick graphic or something, but generally I'm on my desktop or laptop with the mouse and the keyboard to do that. So one little quick trick to like overlay something on top of a grid without having it autofill on top of it. That makes sense. Anybody ever try that? Try to do an overlay and it fills it in. Right, so.
Yeah, Patty, quick question.
Sure.
So for the black pug, what happened to the background when you did the overlay?
Oh, okay, so that's the background remover feature. So
Okay, just making
yeah,
sure.
yeah. I don't know if you know that feature. So I'll show you that. There's a couple of different AI tools you can use to edit things. That's not really an AI feature, but the background remover is great. I can't even imagine the hours that I spent on Photoshop before Canva had the background to actually remove a background with Photoshop. It wasn't as quick as like a one click background remover and then it removed. There was a lot of hand work to do precision background remover. So
It's like a magic wand.
boy, yes, yes. It's like, yeah, that was I can't imagine anybody who's still doing that, using that feature and not using background remover. It's like the hours and hours you save. So that's the grids. Let me go back to
And
element.
we
Oh yeah, go ahead.
do have a raised hand,
Okay.
Dr.
Oh, yeah.
Sabrina.
Go ahead. You have a question? Go ahead.
Yeah, hi
Yeah.
Patty. Thank you
Okay.
so much. Is there a way to have the black pug sort of bleed in, or not, maybe not bleed, but fade into a picture, fade into another picture, or does that make sense?
So they're the same picture. Is that something?
No, I mean it's obvious that it's two different pictures, but there are sometimes there's I see where the first the one that's prominent, and so that would have been the black pug, and his skin or his fur, if you will, would have kind of faded into the other one.
Got it. Well, you could. Let me see if this is what you're talking about. So let's just say, let's take this one. And you can't, I mean, yeah, I was like, say, hey, if you wanted to have this pug sitting next to this one. So let me just move this pug over a little bit, stretch it out here. Oh, it's still gonna be too close. So let's just say wanted to have those as if they're the same. You could still kind of tell, right? That, even though it looked like it's sitting there next to him, maybe in scale size, he's a little bit smaller. All right, so move them over. So something like that you could, I mean, you could still, right? Yeah, it looks because of the lighting too, looks a little bit different. You maybe like say let's go to filters and maybe let's see, try to match that color.
Oh,
Uh,
I see.
so yeah, so because see how it's like the lighting is a lot brighter, so it does look a little bit different. But you might find a picture, pictures you have. So the filters you use might help you fade it. Oops, that's that one. Fade it back. So that one, it'll get a little bit closer. So is that what you kind of mean, where you can kind of bring pictures together? You know,
Um,
could almost be, or maybe to put two, like say, for example, maybe, oh, let's just say you're at your NAWBO meeting, you're in a group picture, somebody didn't show up and you have a picture of them and you can kind of add them into the picture kind of thing. So yeah, so
okay.
let's try it with humans and see.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, no problem. So let's just say women, group of women. Let's just do group of women. Use this one a lot for stock photos for NAWBO. So let's just say, let's find one. That's this one here. Okay, let's do that. So let's just find a woman. That one there, and woman, businesswoman, because they look like they're dressed like they're a business. So let's, yeah, maybe this one. Okay, so let's remove her background. And, you know, we can kind of add her. So pretend she didn't show up for the party. Let me move them over. Oops, okay, that won't let me move it this way a little bit. Fill it in. So yeah, just depending on how much room you have. So something like that, right? So I'd say little larger scale unless she's this much shorter. There we go. So right, that kind of looks like she was there at the party, a little bit brighter, but you know, is that kind of like we were talking about? So you can kind of add that. I used to Photoshop people in. Like, it's kind of cooler. If, as long as you have similar shots, you know, and that's the only thing. It doesn't look like, you know, too bad that you know, in difference in tone and brightness and all of that. So you can play with things like that. And I'll show you I'm going to show you a feature too of like erasing things on pictures, you know, because a lot of new AI features in here as well that you might not be familiar with. So, and then I'm just going to go quickly down some more elements here so you can, and then I'll create some more designs and show you some of those more advanced AI tools. And then anything you have, any questions you have, I'll kind of go off of, um, any questions you have, I'll go off of, or anything specific you want to look at that I can help with. Let's see. Okay, so elements, going back to that. So pictures, probably got that. Tons of graphics, AI generators. We'll go over that a little bit more. So I think that's pretty much, you can do mock-ups. So I'm just going to keep using a new picture here if you haven't played with these. So if you want to say do a picture in a screen, a desktop screen, you can take that, do that, and go find a picture. Oops, there we go, wrong one. And photo. Let's grab her. We'll just grab these ladies there. And it will fill it in there. So all those mock-ups you can, you know, do different things with as well. If you haven't played with those, put something on t-shirts. That's kind of a fairly new feature. 3D graphics, I think that's actually new. I haven't seen that before. So let's play with 3D graphics. I don't do too much with graphics. I'm more realistic stuff going on. So collections of graphics. So that's all the kind of the elements. Kind of showed you the different text things. Plenty of things you can do with text here. So if you want to do some fun things here, and there are tons of new apps as well to do some fun elements with. Let me show you on some of the apps here. We can find text ones. You can do gradients and colorizing things, and I think there's a couple here that are text generators. So colorizing, creating emoji art. So I would say play with them, check them out, try them out. Some you have to log in and create an account. They're outside external apps that you might have to join. Some you might have to pay in order to use them. They might let you try a free version of it for a few graphics, but then, or a few elements or whatever, and then you have to kind of pay for them. So here's instant AI art, definitely improving on all the different tools and everything that's in there. So
Patty, real fast, there's a question in the chat since
yeah.
you're in templates to see if there's one for white paper.
Maybe, yeah. You know, well, the template, so white papers, let's just go back here. Oops, wrong one. Let me go back to beginning here. So create a design, just type in what you're looking for. Of course, type it so you're spelling it correctly, unlike my 4 thumbs. There we go. There we go. Wallpaper. Yeah, because really I'm thinking of a white paper is more like almost like a Word document, you know, unless you're talking about like say you want to have the white paper have your logo on the top or like a letterhead format. So the white paper itself, you know, is mostly going to be words, right? So unless unless you wanted to add in elements of like you said, logos or designs or anything like that. So what I would do is just go to flyer here, or you could do say, I think letterhead, it's come up the same. So here, letterhead, and let's just say this, I use this for my white papers. I have this at the bottom, and then you can just put, bring in a text element. Let's just bring in a plain text box and then start typing in your white paper. Obviously, that's way too big for text, but 14. And then just start typing in your paper, or copy paste in your paper. And then you have your white paper design. So, or if you have bring in the text and then add in your logo or whatever element you're bringing into the white paper. That's probably a pretty basic thing. Going back here, if you just want to do flyers, right? So it's still different than white paper, and you can do any layout here, 8.5 by 11, 11.5 by 8.5, flyer, portrait, landscape. So here's just a standard portrait. And every size that you do, every element, and you've probably seen this as well, is they're going to come up with different designs, right? So if I'm doing a flyer and I want to create a concert, flyer, say rock music, I can always do that. Now, if I go to put that in, say, Instagram post, and I say concert, a music concert, I'm going to come up with different templates, but you can always resize, right? You can use the magic resize feature and resize this. So start off with your flyer. I just did this for a client. They're having a reggae night tomorrow night at the restaurant. And so they wanted a flyer. So then I also had to do a social media post as well as an email image. So I just started with the flyer and then created the other sizes and then, adjusted from there. So I'm not starting from scratch with each of the sizes that I needed for their event. That makes sense. So that's flyers. Let me go back here.
And Patty, since you're on the flyer, just I'm looking at it, and one thing I know a lot of people struggle with is when they create a beautiful graphic and there's text on there, making it look aligned and making everything look clean. Is there a trick? Let's say you have rock music and you had maybe a list of 20 different bands that were going to be underneath it, but you wanted to make sure that it was all aligned and beautiful.
So what you can do is, let me just grab a couple of these. So let's just say, we'll move that down here. So we have one guest artist. I'm just going to double, let's see, where did it go? That's weird. There it is. Let's just say we have a couple of guest artists. Well, let's pretend they're all the same guest artists for now. So one trick you could do here, if you wanted to make sure it's perfectly aligned, is I take them, you can stretch them out all the way to the end. And that will, of course, that brought it into one line, but you can stretch that out to make sure then it's perfectly aligned on both sides if you didn't want to kind of eyeball that, so taking that and say if you wanted to leave it that way. Also, too, when you're moving it around, it should show you there's a kind of came up a little bit. It's hard to see on the black, but as I move it, there's a horizontal, see that, or a vertical line, see that pop up, that purple, that will show you where it's right down the middle as well. So it's lined up if you don't want to stretch it out into two lines here or one line. That's one way you could do it, is to have it stretch it out. But generally, I'm eyeballing it, and you can see here as the lines pop up where it aligns. Like I want everything exactly left aligned. So as you move it over, move it this way, you'll see those lines appear. So if you wanted to line things up there, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just, for me, it's like faster just to like eyeball it and look at it and then use those lines that come up to make sure like things are lining up if I want them left or right justified. So, and then everybody know the magic resize feature.
Oh, magic resize. And then after that, then I have to get
Resize.
to a question in the chat when you're ready.
Sure. Yeah, is everybody familiar with resize? Anybody want to see that feature? Raise a hand. Might be something you already know. So I'll show you just in case there's anybody here that's just not speaking up. So resizing. So let's just say I have a flyer. It's all lined up, ready to go. But now I need an Instagram post. So I can go to, it's called resize. They've changed it like to instant resize, magic resize. I guess we're settling on resize now. So we go to social media, or you can just type in the word like Instagram. I want to create Instagram post square. And I want to copy, so I'm not going to change the flyer. I want to keep that as a flyer, but you could, if you say, I don't need the flyer size, just do the resize, and then it will magically resize. Now, one thing I noticed, we'll open up the post. Now it will somewhat adjust depending on the sizes you're seeing. You can see here, I probably would, still like adjust it, stretch things out, make things a little bit bigger, so you might have to move it. I did see briefly when I was using this, and I haven't, I don't know, maybe it was particular sizes where it automatically adjusted it for you, but I haven't seen that lately. So I don't know if it was just a fluke or just because of the sizes. But if I went, so say I took this size and now I want to do an email header, which is going to be much narrower, right? So 600 by 200, come here, copy, resize, and it'll pop up. There we go. So open that. Now it's going to be, see, I have to now go in here and adjust everything, to make that work. But I don't have to start from scratch, right? So you would have to play with this size a little bit to get it to work in a larger format. So that's kind of the resize feature. So, and with social media, just so you know, in case anybody's doing social media, Instagram is the most picky as far as size. So that you can't, back in the day when I started with Canva, I don't know, 5, 6 years ago, Canva actually started in 2013, so it's 11 years old already. But I used to go and create, say, the Instagram size and then resize to a Facebook and a Twitter size. And I would have 3 different graphics for the same post, but you don't have to do that. So Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all you can use the 1080 by 1080, right? Facebook uses that size. Instagram is fine with that, of course. They're just more picky. You can't use, say, a weird Twitter size and put it on Instagram. So those you can just use 1080 by 1080 and post it across those. The only different one, Pinterest has their own little pin size that you'd have to adjust to. Trying to think if there's other platforms, but 1080 by 1080 works. So you don't have to go create a Facebook size and a Twitter size and LinkedIn size. Just use that 1080 by 1080. And then can you upload a Word document to add pictures and text? No, you can do images, video, and audio. So what I would do is just like I was showing you on that white paper, is just copy in the text, paste it in, and then you'd have to, adjust the size and everything. But yeah, so you can't upload Word, which basically Word, and then do what I showed on that white paper. You can just add in your logos and features in that. So let me see if there's any other questions here. Show the template blend. Okay, so I think that was it.
Abby,
Okay.
I have a quick
Sure.
question, just since we have so many certified women on this line. So we had done a webinar a few months ago doing a capability statement workshop, and something that was said on there was that you could go in Canva and use the statement of information to generate a capability statement, that it was a very similar document. Do you find that to be true?
I have never done that because I did create, I'll show you my capability
Okay.
statement here in Canva, which is right here. I didn't see, statement of information. I don't know if there's I haven't seen that template. Oh, wait a second. Let me go to Canva templates. That was my content. Financial problems. I don't know if there is personal statement, but there could be something similar here. Let me show you mine. Let me go back here. Right, capability statement. Type that in. I
And maybe
actually
back
went
then
through.
it was statement of information. Maybe Canva updated it, so now there's a capability statement.
Let me go back to statement of information here. Hold on, and start over. Yeah, because mine pulled up. Statement of information.
I had to buy a couple off of Etsy. I had to go in and do a search on Google.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So this is mine that I created. I actually did a class with WeBank because I'm WeBank certified. And have all my certifications here. I haven't yet done the NAWBO one. But this I all created on Canva. So we went through an exercise here. I think I had a template that somebody had shared with me. They actually had it as a PowerPoint. He's old school. And I took it because I was like, what do I include on it when I first did a capability statement? And so we had all the elements, and I'm like, well, I'm going to make it pretty. But then when I did the WeBank, they have this program oh my gosh, I'm blanking out on the name, the Platinum Supplier Program. And it's a 6 or 8 week program. And one of them is the person that we brought her into NAWBO for our certification program, on how to create a capability statement, what should be included on it. So it went through with this program, like different iterations. I've really updated this on here. So this is, yeah, so I haven't seen a template for it. I'm more than happy to share my template if anybody wants it. I can share this document and then you can make it your own. But this is pretty much what, yours might have different information, but based on that kind of that WeBank program, this is what, I broke down into what the elements that I need of, your overview, having this one was interesting too. You're having what do you call it? A statement, a tagline, so to speak, so that they can hit them right away with it, and then the core competencies, and then past performance. That was the one that I hadn't thought of before. Usually you put on your certifications, here's all the different things that we do, your competencies, but having that past performance, they can see, hey, yeah, I helped this program, gain 20% more registrants, or I grew this by 50%. So that's a cool thing. So let me figure out, so I can share the Canva file. I'll have to figure out how I share it with everybody.
Or you can get
I'll
it to
work,
me
yeah,
and I can
yeah,
get it
we'll
out.
work on that, and I'll send it to you, make a copy of it so everybody's not editing my my version of it. But yeah, more than welcome to change it. But what's interesting too, I mean, kind of side note from Canva, I don't know if anybody has come across this. I would definitely recommend, have a paper version. If you're going to matchmaking events, have a paper version with you, have a digital version of it as well. Because I found, like with WeBank, I attended an event, printed out, beautiful stock card, quality, full color, capability statement. Showed up a couple years ago. I went to the WeBank conference, showed up with my pile of beautiful capability statements. I think I gave out like 3 of them because they're like, oh, just go scan our QR code and sign up for our vendor portal. Nobody wanted wanted it. Or it's like, do you have a digital version? So make sure you have a PDF. Create a QR code. I have a landing page on my website that's like, I think, Golden State Marketing / capability statement. I think I even added it to, let me just show this as a side since we're kind of talking certification. So I use Hi Hello. It's one of the digital business card apps. And I'm going to just see, I think I added it there so I could show it to you here. So I can't show you on my phone.
That's cool that you can put it in hi hello. That's a neat feature.
Hold on. Of course, now it's asking for let me see. I don't know what my passwords are. Probably not that one. Oh, okay. Of course.
No,
Usually it's saved. I don't know if I wiped out my cookies recently. There we go.
no.
Okay. So what I believe I added it here. So I have different cards. So this would be this one. And did I add it on here? So you could add it. Maybe I didn't. I kind of remember adding it somewhere. But what you would do is, like, I have the capability statement page on my website, and then you can just have it go, to the link here. And then one thing I did too, just in case anybody here is in membership, if you're on the board, I created a NAWBO card on here as well. So if, because we don't have physical NAWBO business cards at this point. So I created a separate login. So instead of just giving them my business card, which I could, this way I can, as we're at like mixers and things like that, I can go here, scan my NAWBO digital card, and it goes right to our website. You can schedule a membership chat with me or go to the membership page, go to our social media links as well. So it's digital, but going back to capability statements, let me go back to that somewhere here. Yeah, make sure you have it in all formats, because I'm finding that with matchmaking events, or if anybody's asking for it, they might not want it in a paper format, or, digital, a PDF format is fine. So, or have it go, let me see if I think it's my old version of it. Let's see, this is my website. There we go. And then, oops, pretty sure it's capability statement. See. Nope, not it. Okay. I know I had it here. So I just put it on that same document on the landing page, and then I link to that, and then I give that out, and this way they can go to my site and see my about information as well. So however you want to do it, as far as that. So I'll make sure, just remind me to share this with all of you so you can take it and use it for your own purposes. So that's been tweaked quite often. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Everyone's always interested in the capability statement. We actually are going to be doing another workshop in 2025 with MasterCard. So that's kind of exciting. And I did want to, Patty, one thing, what about newsletters and e-magazines? I know a lot of businesses like to send out regular newsletters. And I know from my end, it's been a challenge even doing a newsletter because I put it into PDF, but then you can't have the clickable links on there if you email it. So maybe if anyone's interested in that, I don't know, that may not be something of interest, but if it
Yeah,
is,
so you can add you can add clickable links on here. Or you can add them on the PDF side of it. Just depends if unless you're talking about in an email,
in an
right?
email.
Email template. So yeah, it gets a little tricky with going from, say, like if you created a PDF, you wouldn't want to load the PDF into your email, like say you use MailChimp, right? You'd want to have separate elements because then it would be one giant image, really, because you wouldn't upload the PDF. Better to have the individual graphics and things. You can create an email in here, but again, it's not all the different elements aren't clickable individually. So, if you have one image as opposed to having different, used to be able to what's called image map. So you could create like highlight the newsletter and make that clickable somewhere else and the picture clickable somewhere else. So better to set up those templates in your email program. You can create the different elements in there, but I would break them up into individual elements because how things render, people are reading on their phone, being responsive. It's going to be a little bit different and you don't want to have just one giant image. So if people can't open the image, then you have kind of a blank email as well. But if you're doing like a paper newsletter here, you can do that of digital format if it wasn't going to be necessarily clickable, or have it up on your website, as well, where you can click into it, different elements. If that makes sense. But at least you can create the element here. Let me show you some of the AI features that you might know, the editing features, because those are kind of cool things you can do that you haven't been able to do before. So let me just find one of my pages here. There we go. Oh, okay. Just want to make sure I'm in the Instagram size. Yeah. Okay. So we'll just use that format. So I'm going to show you one feature here that I think I already had it open. I didn't close it. Did I close it? Hold on. I had it open. I didn't close it. Wanted to have it all lined up. Oh, maybe I had opened it in the other Canva. Okay, so let's just do this. Let me do this really quick. Okay, so I want to show you kind of an editing feature. Go here. Too much stuff open. Okay, I don't really want the black background here. Okay, so let me go here. I think it should be towards the top. Okay, so go back here real quick. I had it all open. Go back to home. Okay. And okay, oh, here it is right here. Okay, there's one. And then I'm gonna go get the other one. So they're both, oh, so you can see the before and after. So I'm trying to find, and somehow. Okay. Okay. This was the event. You went to this event, our summit we had in August. I want to find the original here.
This is the one at SoFi, right?
This
Oh,
is
yeah.
one of so these are I did all the graphics for that event. So let me just find that one. I know you're here, lady. Where'd you go?
That was a
Okay.
great event, by the way.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so we did a little magic here. So let's go back. So that's why do I keep losing that? Okay, here it is. Okay. So we had an event. We had our business summit at SoFi Stadium. It's a big football stadium. Maybe you've seen it on TV. I think the Rams just played this weekend at SoFi. So we had an event there, and I had to create graphics for them. And I found this graphic. It is at SoFi. I wanted to have people on the stadium, the grounds, because we did a stadium tour as well. So I happened to find some stock photos on SoFi of a woman in the foreground holding a football. And I'm like, okay, I want to use it, but I really didn't want the people in the background. I just wanted SoFi. I'm like just kind of random people there that, you know, didn't really fit. Here's a guy over here. So you can, you know, erase them, right? So let me show you here. So we can go to the edit feature and you have these magic studio here. So a couple different things you can do. You can do magic grab, right? But I'm just going to show you this if you haven't used this feature. So you can either click and do a brush to grab them, or click and then I can highlight her and I can grab her. And then now she's separated from the elements. Let's say maybe I just wanted to move her over here. I can do that. Or I can take her and put it on a different background, you know, and change that out. So I don't want to really do that. That's not what I'm trying to do with this. I'm just go back to the original. Okay, so there's that. I just want to erase these folks. So I'm going to go to edit and I'm going to go to magic eraser. Okay, and I'm going to do the click version. And I'm just going to go here. I think it's set to go. And let's just grab this first gal. Hopefully you have to be careful with the magic erase. It's not always clean. This one happens to be pretty clean as far as removing her, but where the brush might be better. So you kind of have to play with this feature.
Patty, real fast, when did you click on her or just hover over her?
Click on her. So you see here where it says brush or click.
Okay.
Have the option either to use the brush, and what the brush would do is kind of, you know, brush over like that. I want to do the clip. Oh, brought her back. Okay. Magically appeared again. So let's take her off. Okay. I'm going to do all three and then show you the finished version of it. Okay. So we grabbed her off. Okay. We're taking her off. Feels like in Back to the Future where people start disappearing as, as you change the time zone.
It is like magic though.
Yeah, it is totally magic. Yeah. Okay. Let's get this guy. Okay. We're moving him. Click on him. So this one's pretty clean. It didn't leave, sometimes it leaves some, I'll call residue of the person. So this one leaves a pretty clear, they're gone. Only weird thing here. So she has like this little lump on her head, left side. I'm not really sure what that is. I'm just going to change the brush side. I've done this before. I know it's not really going to clean and work. I don't know if I took it off the original version. Erase. See what happens. And it looks like her hair. And you can brush a couple of times to see, especially if it does leave some residue from what you're trying to remove. So we'll just kind of leave. It looks like maybe her hair is flying out. So now I have the picture and then I can update it however I want to update it. So I'll just kind of go to the final version. So you can see here, I took her and had her separate. I took our little logo on there, put it on her chest. And then I, you know, still have the background. I just added in all the different elements I wanted. And now I have a picture. I didn't have to go, you know, recreate her on, you know, or take a picture at SoFi. So luckily it was able to, you know, find a picture. Let's move her over here that fit, you know, and happened to be a woman on the stage holding a football. Perfect. So, a lot of cool things. This particular bunch, there's a bunch of photos in here. Like this one here, I just found a picture of women and, you know, on this at the SoFi and kind of fit them in here. And this is just using the magic eraser or the background remover to put them in here. You know, you could erase them. Thanks for coming, Michelle. Good seeing you. So yeah, any of these elements here, you know, we just kind of added in. You can layer. Let me see, there's something else on the magic erase and stuff. Let me see here. All these people we bring in here, you know, bring in their headshots, remove the background, overlay them on top of, you know, the stadium background. So here, let me go back to the edit. There's a couple of other, let me show you. Let me go out of this one. I don't want to change anything there. Okay, so let's just use this one here. So let's find woman on beach. Let me see, I think I can find this one. Done this before. Okay, so here's some graph photos. And let's grab this one. So here we have a woman on a beach. But you can see here, it's like, well, if I start stretching it out, you know, I don't want to make her that big. So you can do something called, let me just do it. Yeah, let's do it this way. This will be easier. Okay, so go here and it's called Magic Expand. So here we want it to fill the whole page, right? I want more blue sky, for example. We want a whole page and I think that's it. Yep. Okay. So we do Magic Expand Now, it doesn't always work with everything here. This one's pretty easy because all I'm asking it to do at this point is just kind of fill in some blue sky. Now, if I did it the opposite, I think it would fill in some sand. So that was one thing too. I was gonna say it does some weird stuff where it brings in, like you can see here, it brought in some weirdness here. Not sure why it does that. I
That
did
was text from somewhere or something?
it, well, no, yeah, there's no text on it, but it even this I've done this graphic before and it didn't do that. So it's kind of weird. Let me just go back to the beginning. So if let's say let's try it this way and do it this way, go do magic expand. And we want to do the whole page, right? There we go. Let's see if it does it. I did one where it was a picture of me and I was at a winery. It was one of my branding photos and I wanted to expand it out. And it added a second version of me next to me instead of expanding out the background. I'm like, so I like a Shrek version. So here it's like, yeah, this sometimes it's AI. It's kind of like ChatGPT, where it kind of like it does its own thing sometimes. Here, I don't know what that added, a shipwreck or something down here.
It did. Can you keep, on some of the art AI apps, you can just keep regenerating it until you actually get what you need?
Yeah, and and one thing I did, so give you an example, I was doing a social media post. It was actually for NAWBO sister, and she has a transportation logistics business, and she's very particular, which she should be in being in logistics. Their uniforms are black. They wear black polos to her logo, and we had a picture. We used a stock photo. It was a guy standing in front of a fleet of trucks, but the trucks were all different colors. And she's like, "Well, all of our trucks are white." And I'm like, okay, that's going to be hard to find. They didn't have a lot of their own photos, for us to go and take a picture of a fleet of trucks with a guy standing in front of it. Um, so I'm like, well, let me try AI. And this was kind of the early day, way back in the early days of AI and their Dolly, their AI generating app. And so I'm like, give me a picture of a guy standing in front of a fleet of trucks wearing a black polo and a fleet of white trucks. So I had Dolly create this and I had his eyes were googly, which happens with AI. There was, some distortion and I was like, okay, it gave me the guy with white. So then I went through and I went back and I said, okay, give me the same picture, but it's like, give me a guy standing in front of a fleet of white trucks with his arms folded, wearing a cap with sunglasses. And I did that because I'm like, okay, if he has sunglasses on, we won't see the googly AI eyes. If we cover his hands, we're not going to get extra fingers. So he's just, doing this in front of the truck. And I think I don't think that the cap helped with any other distortion. And then it finally worked. It was usable picture. And I had a guy with a black polo. I just put her logo in front of the black, like I did with the NAWBO on the t-shirt. And it was in front of black trucks, worked perfectly. So sometimes it works, sometimes and not so much on there. So yeah, it's a lot of great features on there that you can use. And you can actually, I just am looking at some of the things I wanted to show you too. I'm going to show you, so we still have time here, using, everybody here using ChatGPT to create content? Yeah. Okay. Anybody ever use the bulk create and ChatGPT to create content? Okay, got a few head shakes. So we're going to show you a feature here. So popular social media content type is inspirational quotes. I know we do that too with NAWBO, like the women business quotes and stuff. Anybody do that for themselves or chapter? Okay. So say you want to do like I do for my business. I do every week I do a marketing Monday marketing quote and then Thursday thoughts I do another marketing quote. So generally for the full year I have 50 to 104 marketing quotes that I need to create. So I create them all ahead. For NAWBO, for example, I just created a bunch of women business quotes and bulk created those as well. So let's just pick a topic. So we're going to start with, we're going to go to ChatGPT. I should have it open here somewhere. If I can get rid of my Zoom bar, always in the way. Move this over here. Okay. So here's ChatGPT. Now you can do this on the paid or the free version. Either way, I'm on the paid version of it. So I have the 4 Omni here. So let's pick let's do since we're NAWBO, let's do women business quotes. So I need I'm just going to do 20. You can do any number on this, 100, 50, 10, and you can keep adding if you want, but I'm just going to keep it simple with 20 for now. 20 inspirational quotes about women business owners and entrepreneurship, if I can spell that. The Grammarly will correct it in entrepreneurship. Okay, so it's gonna be a little bit of a weird prompt, but I'll explain why I'm doing this prompt this way. Okay, so whatever the topic is, I want about beauty and wellness or women, inspirational women, or funny, or whatever you want. So we'll just do that. Include who said it. I'll tell you why I'm asking it in this weird way in a sec. Include, I swear can't type today. Include the citation on the same line as the quote. Do not include anything other than the citation and quote. And I think that is it. Okay, so include said I wrote it, include the citation. Okay. Okay. So now we're just going to have it spit out some quotes, hopefully. So the reason as it's generating here, the reason I've asked this, so in the past, you would think you can go just include the citation instead of saying who said it or wrote it. I'm kind of dumbing it down a little bit for ChatGPT because it used to work that way, but then sometimes when I was doing this, it actually literally created its own quotes and said it was done by ChatGPT. So I'm like, so I just kind of say who said it or wrote it, but then you can say include the citation on the same line as the quote. I'll explain that in a second. You'll see why that's important. And when I say do not include anything other than the citation and quote, ChatGPT used to just do that. Then recently it decided to add like a summary, an extra line in there that I didn't want. So now I have to kind of say, please don't include that stuff in there. Stop being extra. Okay, so we have a bunch of quotes. Now, again, you can do any number and you can say, okay, give me 20 more. You can just keep on going, but we'll just stop here. And I'm going to take these and grab them. Copy paste. I'm going to go to Excel. You do this on Google Sheets. I have Excel open. I keep moving my Zoom bar out of the way. Okay, so go to Excel. I'm going to paste it in there. Now, hopefully, oops, did I just do that? Okay, I don't know. Are you seeing Excel here when I'm pasting it in?
We are.
Okay, perfect. So now, unfortunately, now it's doing something a little extra. It's adding a space between it. So what you want to do is get rid of the space. So you just go to data, sort, column, there's only one column. We'll take away the lines. Now, this is why I say include the quote on the same line as the citation, or citation on the same line as the quote. Because when you bring it into Canva, we don't want those extra lines because then it will create a blank quote page. And in this way, if you didn't say that, it would drop the citation on a second row. So you don't want to have that. That's why I ask for it in particular. So we have our quotes here, and you can decide to use them all or which ones you want to use, but we're going to grab them all, and I'm going to save that file. You can save it as a workbook. I always save it as a CSV. That always seems to work. Sometimes it freaks out on the Excel. I'm just going to call it women and put it in downloads. I already had women. Obviously, I did this before. Okay, so I'm going to go back to Canva. And we're going to do the Instagram size post. There we go, 1080 by 1080. Now there are templates in here. So if you go to design and call it designs or templates, put in quote, you'll see templates that have quotes. So you can start there. I think I actually use this one for NAWBO. So the women in, I changed out, I'll show you. I did one where I'm using all women quotes by women, and I'm actually like finding the pictures of the women like Eleanor Roosevelt or Sheryl Sandberg or Oprah Winfrey and replacing the picture and the colors and all that. So I'll just pretend we'll use this one since it's a woman. So you have your template.
Hey, Patty, just
yeah.
a quick second. I'm sorry.
Uh-huh.
You see the woman down in the blue? Yes, that's what I was trying to figure out how to do. You see how she's kind of faded there, or the background is faded?
Oh, got it.
Yeah. But
you
okay, I saw that and I'm like, that's it. But okay,
Yeah, you can
Continue.
do some different types of overlays. I don't know if this particular picture was like that already, but there are some
Okay,
things you could do with maybe some overlays and transparencies to make that.
okay, okay. My
We'll
apologies for interrupting.
no, you're no, anytime. So let's just say we're gonna use this one, but what you want to do first is edit it to where you want it. So let's say we like it, but this isn't my color scheme. Let's see, we have my NAWBO kitten here, so we'll grab that, and we're gonna make that the orange, which it looks like is there an overlay on top? Hold on, let me go. Position. That's weird. It's like, I'm gonna see if it's transparent. No, that's weird. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. Why it looks like it's transparent, and it is in the foreground. I'm not sure what's going on with this one, but I'll leave it like that. It should be brighter there. We say we change out here. We want to do our we want to put our logo on it. Put that a bunch of NAWBO logos in here. So here's our NAWBO. Change that. Take out the background. That's not really good because actually we have a. See, I can't see it, but I know it's here. Nope, that's not it either. We do have a white one somewhere in here. We'll just pretend. Okay, there it is. Perfect. Okay, so we grab that in, put that there. So do any of the adjustments that you want to do first before you're going to bring in the quotes. So let's say here, I don't usually put the website. I can't even spell NAWBO. There we go. It's so funny when you meet people. I don't know if you guys come across this. Been in NAWBO like 6-7 years, and you say NAWBO, and they'll still come back NAWBO.
Oh, or NABO.
NAWBO. It's pretty easy, folks. NABO, no boo. I go, no boo's a restaurant here. Okay, so let's just say this is it. We got it where we want it. I would also say whatever font, obviously it comes in here. So if you do want to have a particular font, like for example, we use this one in LA. Excuse me. I just saw it here. Glacial indifference. There we go. I can make it bold. You can change. I always like it left justified, which it already was. There we go. Spacing, if you want to change the line, like maybe closer together. You make the letters far apart and use that feature or not. I'm just going to keep it the way it was. You'll have to do some adjustment because all the quotes are going to be different sizes. So you're going to have to probably play with them after you bring them in, but get everything you want done first. It'll be easier than trying to adjust all of them individually. And one thing too, I do for my marketing quotes, since I'm Golden State Marketing, I have 7 or 8 different California backgrounds, Golden Gate Bridge and all different scenes. So it will only bring in one template. So what you can do if you want different pictures in there, different backgrounds, is say if you're going to do 50 of them and you want 5 different backgrounds, split them into 5 different files and bring them in individually and do different templates for each one. That'd be kind of the easier. If you're going to keep them all the same, it's pretty easy. So we have the template lined up. We're all good to go with the template. So now we're going to bring in our quotes here. So we go to apps and you're looking for bulk create. And you can see here, upload data. So I'm going to go to my computer downloads and put women. Should come up. There we go. And women, here we go. So bring it in and you'll see here, it brought in the first one. So we want to click back over to the quote box and you'll see here, now it's up here, connect data. And you'll click on that first one and then you hit continue. And then here's all the rest of them. Now, for some reason, it disappears one of the quotes and only will bring in 19 instead of 20. Not sure why it does that. So you'll see here, they're all here. The only thing is some of the fonts that come in, you'll see here, with symbols like your quote or the single quote or that hyphen, it brings in a weird symbol. Some fonts do it, some don't. So you have to kind of just look and make sure. You can see here, okay, it's a little bit too long. So you can kind of just adjust it, play with it. So again, here you have it change it to this weird symbol. So you have to kind of do a little bit depending on the font you're using there. So just make sure all of them look good before you download and use them. Now let me go back to ChatGPT. So now we have 20 or 19 for now graphics. Now we want to do the actual social media caption. So I'm going to go here back to it, same in the same prompt and go, now I need social media captions for each quote. Now this is totally up to you. I do this, do not include the actual, unless you want to, quote in the caption. Include, if you want, emojis and hashtags. You can say if you want a certain length. Generally, what it will do is give you the essence of the quote, right? So so if you want to have the actual quote, because I say, well, it's already on the graphic, you don't have to have it in the caption. Totally up to you if you want to leave it in there. You don't have to do emojis, and it'll give you a couple of hashtags you might want to add to it. If I was doing these for NAWBO, I would add in NAWBO LA's hashtag and a couple other LA business owners, whatever, all the usual suspect of hashtags we use. So you can see here, this one, George Bernard Shaw, don't wait for the right opportunity, create it. Here it says, who's stopping you? Go after your goals and make things happen. So it kind of takes it, like I said, and just give you the essence of the quote. So now you have the 20 graphics, you have the 20 captions, and now you can put them on your content calendar and get them out there, right? Does anybody use this tool to upload directly to your social media or want to, and you're not familiar with it? I kind of want to show features that you might, in the last few, is there anything here in the last few minutes that we have that you're curious about, not familiar how to do it, you want me to show you? So I'm making sure you get the most out of this. Anybody? I don't know if we had any other questions here. No.
This last trick you showed us was pretty spectacular.
Yeah.
Now I can't talk, but
Yeah.
it was
This is
really
amazing because you get the hook to bring people into the quote, and then that goes into your copy, which is why people read. This is, Patty, this is amazing.
Yeah, that's it. It's a great feature to be able to, bulk create the content. And then let me show you this while I have the moment. I don't know if anybody's using a content calendar. Let me show you mine. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So and I can share this. We can share this too if you want to use it. I have the 2024, and then I just created the 2025. I keep it simple. The reason I don't use Canva is because it doesn't have all the things my calendar does. I don't use any apps or software. I keep it simple because I share this with all the people who attend all of my classes all year round. I want to make it simple. Also for my clients, I don't want to have people to subscribe to software and apps. And I haven't really found anything that I like as well as this. So a couple of features in here on the calendar. I have and there is, if you do want the calendar, there is a video on here on how to use this calendar. I'll just kind of show you real quick some of the features. You can map out your social media content, email content, and blog content on here. So there's pages of each. This is a demo version, so it's all filled out. So you can coordinate your holidays, your events, email campaigns, your blogs, your LinkedIn newsletter and articles, social media posts of different types, post stories and video content, all on this calendar. You can see here, all coordinated. I have holidays for each of the page. So if you wanted to, and these are all from nationaldaycalendar.com. So if you wanted to promote National Drinking Straw Day, because that's important for your business, or National Mind Body Wellness Day. So say, for example, going back to Canva real quick. So let's just say we want to use World Day of Peace. Now they might, if we go back here, let's go here real quick. Create a design, and let's just go back to, I'm gonna go back to actually one of my old ones. That's fine. Okay, so not that one actually. Come on. There we go. Okay, so let's do design. Was that World Day of Peace? So you can always type in those kind of weird holidays and see if they have a template. They might. So yeah, International Day of Peace here, World Peace Day. I'm calling it World Day of Peace. So there is some templates here, or you can again start from scratch. Let's go back, show you that. So each month has holidays in there. And this is where you can line up all of your social media posts, right? So, I use this for planning and archive purposes. So as I'm planning out the month, I bring in all of the posts because I have clients that I do them for that have to approve the content. And so I line them all up here for them to approve it. Maybe you have somebody you have hired to do it and you want to approve the content and lay it out here. And then I use this after I lay out all the social media content. and then also blog content as well as we lay out. This is all for just a running list of blog topics, and then the actual blogs and the images we're going to use. You can also lay out your emails that you're doing throughout the year here, all of it coordinated here. And then what I do is I use Metricool. Now you can use Canva. I know we're talking Canva, but the one thing with connecting to Canva to do your social media posts, for example, let's just grab that one. And if I want to share it here, now you have, let's just go to social, where are we? So let's just say Instagram, and I'm going to immediately post from my desktop. And that is new. Okay, I did have my account connected. Let's see, is that it? There we go. Okay, do that one. So I have one of my Instagram accounts connected. I can type in my caption here, hashtags, and there's my images, and it will just load it to Instagram. But then I have to go to Facebook and do the same thing, and then to LinkedIn and to Twitter. And so it will take 4 or 5 times for me to do that here. So it's not very efficient. So I use a tool called Metricool, and it connects to, it's like Post Planner, Later, Hootsuite, Buffer. There's a lot of tools out there. I've been using this for about a year. I like it because it connects to just about everything you can see here: Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, TikTok. You can do ads from here as well, your business profile, YouTube, all in one place. I really like it because it has really good reporting tools, which I needed, which I found were really lacking in all the other tools. But if I want to post, so say for example, going back to this Cal, just take this fake one here real quick. I know we're down to a few minutes here. Let me get rid of my Zoom bar there. Okay, so let's just pretend this is what I want to post. So I'm going to go here and grab the caption and the hashtag here, just copy, go over here, and I'll just pretend we're doing it on this calendar. So I can choose to do it on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Google, except YouTube, because I'm not doing video, all at once. So I grab those caption and hashtags. Now we're just going to clean this up here. Move those down. And we have it linked. So here, this is a good one to do. Okay, so we have the URL there. Okay, so I'll leave that here. So now I want to probably tweak it per platform, right? Because now it's too long for Twitter. So I go here, edit by network, and I'm in Twitter or X, whatever we want to call it. And we need to shorten it. So, it's on 400 out of 280. I'm just going to pretend. I usually will clean it up better, not like that. So now it's okay. It's lower. Instagram, right? You can't have a live link in your caption. So you would change that to say, see link in bio. All right, so whatever tweaks you need per platform, really done here, clean that up. Add in your image. I'm not gonna like posting without an image. I'll just go, we'll just grab, there we go, let's grab that one. There we go. And now we have it all done, looks good. All of them are tweaked per platform. I can go ahead and schedule or just publish it now, done. So like I said, if I try to do that on Canva, I'd have to do 5 different posts, right? So I highly recommend if you're in what I do with the calendar, right? So I have everything lined up ahead of time. So we're always working a month ahead. I always recommend get as far ahead as you can. So especially if I'm working with clients, I usually have the content like for December, we'll have content to them by November 15th. They'll go through this page, approve, say, hey, review it for edits. We review, edit it. And by the end of November, I will spend like maybe about an hour at the most, depending on how many posts I have and how fast I can copy paste. And I'll just go down this list and do exactly what I did on Canva. I did the first one, go to the next one, and then I have the whole month posted or scheduled out ahead of time, done. I don't have to worry about it throughout the month, unless you had something spontaneous come up. So that's kind of the advantage of using a scheduling tool rather than if you're just on, say, Facebook and Instagram. Meta will do the same thing. You can do both at the same time, tweak it for Facebook and Instagram and schedule them. I think you can schedule out as far ahead as you want on Meta as well. But if you start adding in other ones, you'd probably want to use a tool as well. Let's see. So something, and if you want the Google Calendar, I'll share it with you along with the capability statement file. We'll send that to you. Can you please share your examples? I did already answer that one, Nan. You said, please share your example. Is that a previous question?
I think it was That's a good question, actually.
Oh, we know, am I missing something? So, yeah.
And so everything you can definitely share. 'Cause
Not
I
an
know we're getting to
example.
the
Sorry, I was just looking for the name, the metrical.
Metrical. Okay, got it. Yeah,
Yeah,
metrical. It's I really like it. The like I said, the reporting on it, and yeah, actually, what I'll just show me cancel that, so I don't wind up posting this fake fake post. You can actually monitor for most of them. You can monitor your comments on here as well. So it has that what's called the inbox. That's a cool feature that I have there. The reporting. You can do a full report with all of them, but you can break it down like, okay, what's happening on my Instagram page? You can see follower growth, your demographics, and then per post. I'm sorry, I'm scrolling fast here. You can see all the activity happening on the post as well. And you can do that. It doesn't give you like say personal, your LinkedIn profile, but only your company page, just so you know, you can post to both. But yeah, in the free version of it, it's good. You can you get one they're called brands. You get I think at 3 brands you can do, but the only thing the free version doesn't include is posting to LinkedIn. The next version up is $18 per month, and you can have up to 3 brands, and you can definitely include LinkedIn in that. So it's not too expensive of a tool. And I think so far with all of the reporting and everything, I find this out of all the other scheduling tools I use, this one so far has to me the best reporting and capabilities of it as
Yeah.
well. So yeah.
so many tools,
Thanks.
so many
Okay.
options, and I know we are
Okay.
getting
So little time. Yeah.
yes. And I want to be respectful of everyone's time. And I'm sensing there may even be a part 2 to this webinar with just getting into some of these tools, getting into the weeds, metrical, and everyone who's on this call, please, if
Yes,
you are so
please.
inclined. What was that? Oh, yes, please shoot me an email with what you'd like to see more of. And because I sense that honestly, Patty, you have so much information. This could be an all-day seminar. And not only that, I'm witnessing all these tools, and I'm thinking to myself, I am doing everything manually.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm actually, growing my own food and doing, I just feel like there's so many shortcuts and solutions in this tech age that I know myself I'm not using, and I'm sure a lot of the women on this call are not using as well. And so,
Yeah. You know, it might be a good idea for a class. We did this for NAWBO LA. It was kind of a spontaneous thing that we did, but it was a class on all the different, our class was one of our connects that we have on everybody sharing all their different tools. So we shared a bunch of them that we use, each use some of the NAWBO LA members, but then we also opened it up to anybody else that had tools. So it was just kind of a tool sharing hour or whatever it was. So that
okay. Well,
yeah,
would you
'cause
join us for a tool sharing hour?
yeah, I'd love
And
to. Yeah.
yes, and Liz, and I don't want to, I know we're wrapping up. I know you have a question, so I don't want to disregard that. So after this, then we'll wrap it, if that works.
I see a couple of questions coming in. I'll go back. Liz, you can post to both your profile and your page. The tricky thing is, just real quick, if you're using Metrical, because each what's called brand, just going back to where I showed you the connection. I'll show you a brand here. I'll show you mine here. So each brand can have one of each. So let's just go to connections. So you can see I can only have one LinkedIn, but I do post personally, I post to both my profile and my page. So what you have to do if you're using Metrical is that you get what's called 3 brands. So you can see I have multiple brands. Some are mine, some are my clients. What you do is I would do like, here's Golden State Marketing, that's mine. And I have connected to my company page. But then it is a double process. But then what I do is I have another brand. If I can move these things out of the way. Here's Patty Personal. So my profile is here, and then I also do my personal Twitter as well as for business. So then I just have to repeat those scheduling out, so I can do both.
OMG, that's why I dropped Metricool.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, the free version, there's no LinkedIn at all. But
No,
again,
I know.
yeah,
I had the paid version and I wasn't getting what I wanted. Oh my God.
yeah,
Bless
yeah,
you.
you do
Yes.
have to, and that will be the same for any of the other tools too, is that they only allow really one type of platform per brand or per account, I guess you could say. So, and then the other question was about PowerPoint. Right, tools first, just to make sure how to use Canva with PowerPoint is what I meant. So I'm gonna go back to Canva and let's start create a design presentation. Let's do that. Oops, come on. Okay, so this I do this version size here. So it's gonna bring in a template. We'll just pretend here. Okay, so we'll just bring this one in. So there's my presentation. So different things you can do. If I want to just bring this down as a PowerPoint, you go to share and you go to download. And we want to be PowerPoint here, right here, Microsoft PowerPoint, download it. And then you can bring it into, it'll create a PowerPoint. And then you can go ahead and open up PowerPoint and bring this in and open it in PowerPoint. The other thing you could do is share is you can present from here. So we can do presenter view, present and record here, and it will actually start presenting and share that. I usually do them on Zoom. So I haven't really done it. I guess on Zoom you can share the Canva presentation. I think I've seen that a couple of times, but I typically just bring them into PowerPoint to make it easy for me. But that's the way that you would do it. With I used to have to do when I'm creating a slide is bring it, download it as a PDF and then bring it into the PowerPoint. But now it's like, hey, it can automatically create it as a PowerPoint. And then I just bring that slide into the existing presentation. So does that answer your question about PowerPoint? Hopefully. Yes. Okay. Making sure.
Fantastic.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah, you're welcome. So I'll end here since we're over time, and thank you, everybody. And I do also to mention I do private Canva tutoring as well. So I've done that with people. If you want private Canva tutoring, just and I'll put my email in the chat. I know that'll probably be shared here. It's Patty at Golden State Marketing. So however many hours you want to do of training. So it's for you. I can even incorporate like ChatGPT training there. I do marketing coaching, but I do Canva tutoring in particular as well if you want that. So just let me know. Any questions, definitely feel free to email me on anything. I'm happy to help.
Yeah, and if for some reason you somehow don't have Patty's email after all this, please reach out to me because I will absolutely connect you with her, because Patty, I feel like I need to give you a call.
Yeah. It's a lot to learn. Yeah.
It's, but you have to start somewhere, and it's just the building blocks of kind of getting just up to speed with all of the tools that we have at our fingertips, right? So everyone, thank you so much for joining, participating, and we will continue these conversations. And thank you so much, Patty, for just sharing all of this with us. Much appreciated. Very grateful.
You're welcome, everyone. Hope it was helpful. Nice meeting everyone. Have a good rest of your day.